Hard to believe it's actually coming this year. A little bit later on, my friend.
We thank you for Jesus.
Sheila, so Holly, no, it's fine. Okay, it's just I want to.
How you doing today, George? Needless to say, he's not much of a talkative guy. To give you an idea of what I saw today, I saw the Bob's Burgers movie, of course, and then I also saw Top Gun Maverick. Quick thoughts right out of the gate. I really like both movies. I thought they were both very good. Top Gun I was completely surprised by. The first movie, I think, is okay. I don't think it's a great movie, but I thought the second movie really did a good job. I thought it was a lot better than the first movie. And considering that the last movie came out over 30 years ago, that's a big surprise to me, so... But yeah, Bob's Burgers movie was pretty good too. I really enjoyed that one a lot. I'll go deeper into my reviews later on, but as you can, our next stop is the bestest of buys, Best Buy. So, with that said, let's head on in. Batman, of course, was the big new release this week. I heard some rumors. I saw, not even rumors. I saw on Tuesday a lot of the steelbooks were actually still here at most Best Buys, but. Does not look like it's the case here. There's a nice looking slipcover though. I think I have that inside one of the exclusives I'll have. I'll show you that when we get back to my place, but there's a nice looking slip. Even the regular Blu-ray's got a nice slipcover to it. I bring this up because they just showed the first image from Indiana Jones 5, which I'm really looking forward to. Also, I thought that Paramount was going to lose the distribution rights to these next year, I thought, but maybe I misread it wrong. I think they still own the distribution rights to the Indiana Jones movies on physical media, but I think at some point some of it goes to Disney. Maybe it ends up at Disney Plus in the future, but I am looking forward to those steelbooks coming out soon. And I don't think those steelbooks are going to be the last time Paramount puts these out, so... I don't know, maybe I misread it wrong. I thought at some point Disney was going to have the rights to these films or not. But maybe I misread it wrong. Maybe I need to do a little more research. Alright, as you can see, I'm just getting out of Best Buy now, and I didn't get anything. I was thinking about getting that Batman Blu-ray combo set for 25 bucks. But I just decided to hold off on it. I'm going to try to get my sights on the Target exclusive. I might go there later tonight, but, yeah, I didn't get anything in there. I just went in there, paid part of my bill, and, yeah, on to the next stop, which is probably going to be, for you guys, it'll probably be Barnes & Noble, but I might head over to JCPenney here real quick. So, either way, I'll see you in a bit. On to the last stop of the day, the Barnes & Noble. Very underrated movie, In the Heart of the Sea. We got Thor and Spider-Man in here. And the Scarecrow's in here too. Very underrated movie, honestly. Other than that, though, it's looking like slim pickings. I gotta watch Modern Family again. I think after I get them Bob's Burgers on Hulu, that'll be the next thing I binge watch. I was just about to say all these different Batman movies over here, and I don't see the Batman, but down here at the far corner of my eye, the 4K regular DVD with that kind of lame DVD cover. He's more interested in the bike than Catwoman. And then there's the regular Blu-ray. It is my first time seeing this in public. Licorice Pizza. Blu-ray for it. I don't know, it might be an option. See if we can find it. It doesn't look like they have it. That's where it would be, but yes, they have this one though. Might have given up too soon. No. God damn it. Well, they may not have the Target exclusive, but at least they have these. Yeah, you're coming with me. So just a quick look, they've got Dark Knight Trilogy, Fast and Furious, Jurassic World, Batman, Lethal Weapon, Ready Player One, Mad Max Fury Road, American Sniper, Goodfellas, The Shining, R.I.P. Ray Liotta, The Goonies, Wizard of Oz, Beetlejuice, Inception, Seven, and The Hangover. Alrighty guys, I'm back home after my trip to the movie theater, the mall, and then later to Target. I'll talk about both Bob's Burgers and Top Gun Maverick in just a little bit, but first, let's get to some of the new releases that came out this week. In fact, only the major new release that came out this week, at least to me. And I have several copies here to show you. And we're going to start off with this one here. Of course, it's my favorite movie of the year so far, and that is The Batman. The Best Buy Steelbook is right here. I actually pre-ordered this when they first announced it. And interestingly enough, on Tuesday when this came out, there were actually stores late afternoon that I saw on YouTube channels and different videos from different Blu-ray buyers on there. They actually had a ton of these available, and so I was surprised when I went there today and they actually didn't have any. At the same time, I probably shouldn't have been surprised because, of course, this movie, DC movies, Marvel movies on Steelbook usually sell out pretty fast, but I like this design right here. Of course, you got Robert Pattinson, the Batman, with the Riddler question mark there. I haven't opened this since I got it, so I'm going to open it right now for you. Let's see if I can do this on camera and not take 20 minutes to do it. I don't usually take 20 minutes. It's usually about 5 minutes, but it's usually a time waster. See? Didn't take me long at all. Take care of the J card. So there is the Steelbook from the front. And then on the back, Riddler's language. And then, of course, the credits. You have the digital code. And then the movies themselves. You got the 4K here, You've got the Blu-ray, and I believe this is the DVD, or no, this is the Blu-ray bonus features. I'm sorry. No, the DVD does not come with this, but you get 2 Blu-ray bonus discs on here, and on the bonus discs, I have the J card here. I'll show you that in just a second. So there's the stuff on the J card. 2 hours of special features, deleted scenes, Vengeance in the Making, Anatomy of the Car Chase, Becoming Catwoman, the Batman Genesis. So that's the J card, and that is the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. And continuing on with the Batman pickups, I have here the Walmart exclusive Batman edition, the 4K box set, which has the sculptured Batarang display with the easel. That's, I believe, this right here. It's a nice looking box set too. I honestly remember when I pre-ordered this, I thought I actually pre-ordered the Blu-ray box set, but this is the 4K set here. As you can see, there's a look inside of what's in here. And let's go ahead and open this up. Again, hopefully not taking 20 minutes of your time. Come on. Alright, there we go. So, once again, there's the J card. See what's on the back here? Absolutely nothing. So there's the easel. And, actually, does this come off? Oh, no, it doesn't. It actually stays on. Okay. It's got the plastic on it, too. This actually stays on here, too. Now, I believe I will get a slipcover with my 4K. I saw another video where they had it with the slipcover, but I didn't know for sure, but we'll find out together. Ready? And we've got the slipcover. It's going to be funny why I'm glad I have this, because I'm going to show you why it's funny in just a second, but you can see you got Catwoman on her bike. By the way, that Target cover, not even the Target cover, the regular DVD cover for this is probably the worst Batman cover I've ever seen, because it's this same picture and Batman just looking down at the bike. Like, he's so impressed with the bike more than Catwoman. It's just like, nice bike. But, yeah, you got a nice little thing for the 4K here. Oh, and you have the stand, I think, for this. So I think Man of Steel had a similar thing, too, when that came out on Blu-ray. But as you can see here, this is a slipcover. This has the slipcover on it. The nice looking slipcover with the Joker, Riddler question mark in the eye there. And then there's the 4K itself. Told you I'm not stopping the camera, and that does not sound good because I feel the disc sliding here. Let's be careful. Oop. So there's the 4K disc, and it just looked like it fell out, but let's just double check to make sure the thing goes back in here. Actually, it took longer than I thought it would, but there you go, it's back in there. It's pretty much the same thing as the Steelbook. You get the 2 Blu-rays with the movie and the bonus features, and then there's the 4K plus the digital code. But I am glad that they actually added the slip here. I was actually surprised that they did add the slip in here, because you're going to see why in just a second, because I'm going to show you what I got from Target, and I think you know where this is going. So anyway, we have the Target pickups here. Sadly, they did not have the Target exclusive set for the Batman. That I was looking for it. I thought maybe it would be there, but I looked at both sections. They didn't have it there. But I did find the Batman set that I was going to get at Best Buy. I got it at Target. I used my Target Red card to get a discount on it, 5% off. I like this cover, man. I just like it so much. I'm going to wait to see, because I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to see if I can find the Walmart exclusive Blu-ray version of the easel set. So, I don't know, maybe I want this. Hopefully they'll have it, they do have it at my Walmart, so I could probably get this there, the easel set there, but I want to get the, but I did want to get this set in particular. I like this set design. I like the cover of it. And you got both the Blu-ray and the DVD in here. And now here's the funny thing. I bought a second copy of the 4K because I was scared that the slipcover wasn't going to be in there. So I wanted to have the slipcover for it, but as you can see, the slipcover is in there. So this might be going back to the store, going back to Target pretty soon. So or not, maybe I'll just have another copy just for the heck of it. Why not? But they did have two other Batman sets I picked up. These Iconic Moments collection set. I've been critical of them the last couple of years. But I did like these ones that they had coming out. They had them at Target. I figured why not get them. We have Batman, the 4-film collection, the Tim Burton set. And the I'm Batman quote. Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. And then we have the Dark Knight Trilogy set. Let's see. The quote, as a symbol, I can be incorruptible, I can be everlasting. And really nice looking slipcover. This was $20, this was $10. And I figured why not? I'm a completionist, I like the Batman movies, all of them, so why not? So there you go. Those are the pickups from Target. I'm going to try to get the Target exclusive. I'm actually looking on Mercari right now to see if I can get one at a cheaper price than it would be at the store, so fingers crossed. Bob's Burgers Burger Book. Now, before I get into this movie in particular, let's talk about the biggest new release that obviously came out this weekend, and that was Top Gun Maverick. Like I said, after coming out of the movie theater, the first Top Gun, I like it. I don't love it. I think it's a product of its time. I think the soundtrack to the movie is much more memorable than the movie itself. The movie has some good moments to it. Is it a groundbreaking masterpiece? No. It's the movie that did launch Tom Cruise's career into superstardom. But, like I said, I think the soundtrack overall for the first movie holds up more than the actual movie itself. The movie isn't terrible. It's just not one of those movies that I can watch on repeat over and over again, like, say, a movie like Jurassic Park or E.T. or Back to the Future, those type of movies. So, I was skeptical going into Top Gun Maverick, largely because of I still have my theory on sequels that come out way past the last movie. If it's over 30 years, if it's over 20 years or more, chances are it's probably not going to be any good. I think there have been few exceptions to movies that have come out. It's not even 20 years. My thing is usually about 3 to 5 years or more afterwards. That's where I'm kind of like, okay, put it out, but don't expect me to be too excited about it. But then, there have been few surprises. There have been stuff like you get your barbershop, the next cut. You get the Best Man Holiday. You get Bad Boys for Life. You get the Mission Impossible movies, the later ones with Tom Cruise, and they're becoming more and more sporadic now. But about 5 years ago, they were very few and far between. And I can honestly say for Top Gun Maverick, I was pretty impressed by what I saw in this movie. Not only does it look visually spectacular, not only do I think they use the camera work very well here to make these flying scenes feel just as realistic and authentic as they can possibly do so. It's just a better movie than the original movie. I think when I look at this movie, I feel like the people who made this movie, including its star Tom Cruise, they know that the first Top Gun movie is not a well-written movie. It's not. It just really isn't. It's like I said. It's a product of its. It's a product of its time. It's a good movie for. It's a good over-the-top movie for what it is. But this movie, after the first third, where the first third I would say is pretty much a Top Gun movie. But once they get past that, though, it picks up the pace, and I think it does turn out to be a pretty damn good sequel. A movie that I was not expecting to be as fun as it is. You know, Tom Cruise, you know, say what you will about the guy, he's had his troubles in the past, he's had those moments where he went crazy, but he's passionate about the old-fashioned blockbuster format, and you gotta give him credit for that. I mean, the fact that he's willing to put his life in danger for so many of these stunts, it's awe-inspiring, and the fact that he was doing it with the Mission Impossible movies, and now with this, you gotta give the guy his proper respects for being so committed to the blockbuster and the true potential that it actually can become. And I think a lot of people are realizing that with this movie. I think that he did see the possibilities what a Top Gun sequel could really be and said, okay, you know what, let's go let's not do the typical bloated blockbuster, let's not do what we did the first movie, let's actually make a movie. And I think they succeeded with that. And I think largely because you had the same people that did the Mission Impossible movies, the later sequels come in here, and also Joseph Kosinski, who actually did Oblivion, which is a fantastic, underrated cruise film. And Tom Cruise gets to play a human character. He's not the leading focus of the film. I mean, he isn't the heroic, the always got to be in front of the camera, the egotistical Tom Cruise. Okay, maybe in the first third, maybe, but he lets the other actors shine here, and everybody here does a pretty good job here. You know, you like people like Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller, Glenn Powell. They have great nods and cameos to the first movie. Val Kilmer has a scene in this movie, which is actually pretty well done, especially considering Val Kilmer's health over the last couple of years. But yeah, overall, Top Gun Maverick is a really good movie. I was actually pleasantly surprised coming out of it because I'd heard so many people talking about how great it is, and I thought, okay, maybe the visuals and the flying sequences will be very good, but the movie itself can't possibly be that good. No, the movie really is that good. I mean, I really recommend Top Gun Maverick. I think, even if you didn't like the first movie, I think you can still find a lot here to admire about this movie to make you want to see it. Because I think there is a lot here that makes this movie work a lot better than I think a lot of people would give it credit for. I mean, the soundtrack to this movie is even pretty good. I mean, nothing will ever top the original Top Gun soundtrack, but Lady Gaga's Hold My Hand is a perfect song for this movie. It's one of the best movie songs I've heard in a long time that's not from a Disney movie. I mean, if this doesn't get nominated for an Oscar, I'm sorry. The Academy Awards just has no idea what the hell they're talking about. They need to stop watching movies from September to December and actually go further than that to actually see the good stuff that came out in the 8 months prior to the final 4 months of the year. But, yeah, overall, I really like Top Gun Maverick. If you haven't seen it, I'd say definitely check it out. Even if you didn't like the first movie, you can still find a lot here to admire about it, to really appreciate what makes this movie so much better than the original film. I would say it's probably one of the most enjoyable movies I've seen so far this year, and I definitely want to see it again, no question about it. So, yeah, high praise for Top Gun Maverick. And now let's get to the Bob's Burgers movie. Wait one second. Yeah, that's right, I decked the shirt out to the movie today. You can pretty much tell I was really excited for this movie, no question about it. Yeah, I was really excited to see the Bob's Burgers movie. I mean, to me, this was the priority number one for the weekend. Like, Top Gun Maverick, I did want to see it, but I have to go out and support this movie on any chance I can get. Like the first day I was off from work, I immediately went to the early screening in the morning, and, yeah, it's really good. It's a really good movie. I think, honestly, in 20 years' time, I feel like this movie is going to be the next great Disney animated cult classic, which you could actually now say for this movie, because it's a Disney movie, even though it's 20th Century Studios, 20th Century Fox, but it's a Disney movie. We're going to be looking at this movie 20 years from now as the next generation Goofy movie. Like, it's going to be a Goofy movie for a new generation, because it has so many of those elements there that really, not just a Goofy movie, but a lot of movies that have had this longevity over the years it's in this movie. Like, you have, like, the plot of the movie is to best sum up the plot of the movie, I would say take some of the elements of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, some of the elements of the Simpsons movie, even throw in some of the elements of the Hey Arnold movie, maybe throw in some Muppets Most Wanted, and even a little bit of a Goofy movie, because it is somewhat of a musical. Blend those together, and you pretty much have the plot of this movie. The plot is very simple. I mean, I'll give them, it's to the movie's credit, it's very much like the TV show. Like, if you watch the other Fox animated shows like I do, Bob's Burgers pretty much is the tamest of the shows. Like, you have The Simpsons, which more recently they've been kind of tamed down, but still can be very funny. The Great North, which is very much in the same way, in the same area as Bob's Burgers and the Great North, Bob's Burgers is. And then Family Guy, which is very chaotic and over the top and hardly ever sticks to realism. Yeah, Bob's Burgers is probably the tamest one of all the shows that are on Fox right now. But that's kind of the charm of it. When I keep hearing people talking about it being a spiritual successor to King of the Hill, you could definitely see that. It's very much King of the Hill-esque. And I'm not just saying that because one of the people who worked on King of the Hill, Jim Dotrieve, created the show with the creator of Home Movies, Lauren Bouchard, but it really does feel like that. The dialogue really is where a lot of the humor comes from, and even the fantastical, the fantasy aspects, the dialogue, that's where a lot of the jokes come into play here. The voice acting is still very well done. It's a show that takes time, though. Like, I rewatched the show again on Hulu leading up to the movie's release, and I will say, just like when I saw it on TV 10 years ago, the first season starts off really slow. I don't think the show really picks up the pace until right around the end of the second season into season 3 is where I think the show really picks up, and it just gets better and better from there. The humor gets much funnier, the music gets a lot better, the voice work, you're suddenly just connected to every one of these characters. You can relate to these characters a lot more, and to this day, it's probably one of the few shows on Fox's animated lineup that's been consistently funny over the years. Like, The Simpsons can be funny, but they've had their down years, and Family Guy's had its down years. Great North started off slow, just like Bob's Burgers, but this past season they've really picked up the pace as well. It actually turned out to be a pretty good show. You also have had Duncanville and Housebroken. Those shows have been pretty good. But Bob's Burgers has been the one that's been really the most consistent show they've had. And I was curious of how they were going to make a movie out of it. And they basically just took an extended episode of the show and just made it into a movie. And I say this as a good thing. I don't say this as a bad thing whatsoever, because I think if they went way too over the top and way past what we were expected to see from them, the movie definitely would have suffered. But this is pretty much what you would expect if you were watching the Bob's Burgers TV show, and it's a good thing. It's a really good thing, because the show is fun, and the movie is very funny. The movie is very funny. The animation is without a doubt some of the most fantastic animation you'll see from the show. I swear, there were times when I thought that guys like James Baxter, like these guys who created this fluid animation and all that, were working on this movie, but one of the co-directors, Bernardo, let me see if I can pronounce his name correctly, Bernard Derriman, who actually worked with Disney until about 2006, and then, of course, with the Bob's Burgers and all that being owned by Fox, and then eventually moving over to Disney, he eventually came back to Disney. I mean, this guy really, I don't know if he took a lot of inspiration from James Baxter and those animators who can work fluidly with the animation, but anytime he makes something and he's the director on it, you can see how fluidly the animation turns out in some of these scenes. Like, it's amazing how this movie is able to make these characters move as much as they can. I know it's mostly done with computers nowadays, but there are times in this movie when it feels like it's hand-drawn animation, and that's really good, because I'm glad to see that a 2D animated movie get this much attention and be seen on the big screen this way. He actually did a short for Bob's Burgers, My Butt Has a Fever, which actually just premiered on FXX this weekend that's coming out. So I actually have the song on the channel here, so if you want to see a little bit of that footage with that fluid animation, go ahead and hit the card on the corner here, and it's really good. It's really good stuff. I was actually hoping that maybe someday this be in theaters. I get the feeling that if Turning Red hadn't gone to Disney Plus, this probably would have been shown in front of that movie. But as far as this movie is concerned, yeah, it's a little formulaic, but you still really enjoy it because you still love these characters. You still love the way that they can make you laugh with some of the most, with the dialogue that's very funny, but coming out of these monotone voices, but in a good way. Like, the monotone voices actually work for some of the comedy they have in here. The puns in this movie are very funny. The visual gags are outstanding. The musical numbers are pretty good too. I would say that the first song, though, The Sunny Side of Summer of Our Lives, that's the best song in the movie. Like, I love the animation to it. I love the way that the characters move around and dance around. It's very well done. And the other songs in the movie are good, but that one's my favorite song of the bunch. The first one in the beginning of the film, largely because of the animation that accompanies it. I like the other songs in the movie too, but that first one's still the best one. In terms of the murder mystery premise here that they have, you can kind of figure out where it's going to go, because let's just say it's you think it's one character who's been known for causing trouble in the past, but it's actually another character with the same bloodline. I'll say I won't completely spoil it for you. The animation overall is fantastic in this movie. There's a lot of great moments here where the animation just really works so well. The lighting works so well. There's a part in the movie where Louise, the big problem that happens with the restaurant is that a sewage pipe explodes, causing a giant sinkhole in front of the entrance of the restaurant, and Bob and Linda are trying to make money to pay off their loan from the bank, and they can't get the money to get it. So this is the worst thing that could happen to them. And Louise goes into the hole to try to prove to everybody. There's another subplot with her because somebody called her a baby because of her bunny ears. I do like that they have the bunny ears. It's kind of like how Double D had that hat on all the time, and you never saw what was under the hat. That's very much what Louise's character bunny hat is like in this movie. So there's a part. So she goes into the sinkhole, and she slips and falls to the bottom, and she finds the skeleton. And the way the skeleton just comes out in this movie, she's trying to climb up the thing. It's actually really well done, and I gotta say, I was laughing really hard when the skeleton fell on her and the teeth fell out, and she was just eating, not even eating them, they were just falling in her mouth. It's just like, oh my god. Like, it's scary, but it's also kind of funny too. It's just like, it just works on so many levels. And I do like that the movie also has a lot of heart and also a lot of character development to it. That first song, the sunny side up of Summer of Our Lives, try to pronounce it right. It's a great song, but if you listen very closely, you can hear like inner character monologues that actually play a big part in the movie. Like the part with Louise doing her little solo, I was getting a lot of Flight of the Conchords vibes listening to that. Just the way that she was singing it, because she was also in Flight of the Conchords. And it's just a very good job on her part, but it also does a good job of getting you prepared for what this movie is going to be like for all these characters and the trials and tribulations they're going to have to go through in order to get through the big adventure they're about to go on. And like I said, I like that the movie doesn't go over the top too big, except when it needs to, when it has to have these fantasy moments. Like there's a big subplot about Tina wanting to give this bracelet with her hair bandana to Jimmy Jr. to be a summer boyfriend, and there's a lot of funny moments that come from there. There's a lot of great moments with Gene when he creates this napkin holder with an instrument where he takes like a spoon and a fork and and a napkin holder and just tries to make music with it because he wants to play for the carnival that they have down at the theme park. And like a lot of those moments there, they do have moments where they do take their time. They do have a lot of heartfelt moments in this movie. There's a lot of great moments between the characters where they're in dire situations and they have to cheer each other up by talking about how they got through some of the biggest problems in their lives, and how somebody may have looked at something and then not realizing that they completely misinterpreted it the wrong way. These are great moments that are done very well. They're heartfelt moments, and the movie, like I said, doesn't really go insanely over the top, and except when it needs to, like for a joke. Like the fantasy sequences are very well done. Like I do like. There's just so much about this movie to really appreciate if you're just a fan of the show, but I think anybody in particular can come into this movie and be like, okay, I get what's going on and I'm really enjoying this. So Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It's not me getting overhyped, because I know that sometimes overhyped can really go to my head a little bit, a lot, because there's been movies that I've been overhyped for that I've really liked the first time they come out, and then years later I look back and I realize, okay, maybe that wasn't as good as I thought it was. But this movie doesn't really feel like it's gonna be that for me. Like, I don't think it's one of the best one of the best TV movie adaptations we've had. It has a very formulaic plot, but what it does here, the stuff it does to appease the fans of the show and the non-fans of the show, I think works well enough. Like I said, I do feel like this is going to be that cult classic, like a movie, like a Goofy movie, where 20 years from now we're going to be looking back on this movie as one of Disney's most underrated animated movies, because this really is a great Disney animated cult classic that we're looking at here. It's a very well done movie, very well animated, very well voice acted, very funny, great music, good story. It's a ton of fun. I had a real good time watching this movie, and it was just caps off what has been a pretty good weekend for movies in general. I mean, you get a good Top Gun sequel after 35 years plus, and a good Bob's Burgers movie. What more could you ask for to start off the summer movie season in a big way? So with that said, that wraps up another edition of Movie Stop. Thank you guys for watching, and tomorrow we'll have a new time about the movies. I am trying to get another Multiplicity episode together. I think the next one's going to be Ghostbusters. If it's not out this week, it'll definitely be out for next week. I got to get the movies together, got to film the stuff, so it might take a little bit, but either by tomorrow, or if not then, by next week, I'll have it out for you, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But of course, the next video you'll see from me will be time about the movies. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching this episode. If you want to see more Movie Stop videos, check out the previous episodes on the next page. Hit the like and subscribe button if you want to. Hopefully you found this entertaining enough to want to come back. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. See you guys next week for another Movie Stop episode. And until the next time I see you either way, take care. Be safe. Have a good Memorial Day.